One Piece is best known for the creative and unique devil fruit powers that many of the characters possess, but that's far from the only way that the characters can fight. Swordsmanship is just one of the many impressive methods that the characters use to defeat their opponents. Number 1. Charlotte Cracker is one of the 3 sweet commanders of the Big Mom Pirates. If that affiliation alone isn't terrifying enough, there's also his swordsmanship. He uses a massive double-edged sword named Pretzel, which is high quality enough to qualify as a Mido. Despite the sword's massive size, he wields it with ease, and is even able to bust through Luffy's Gear 4th enhanced Haki defenses. He can also activate his devil fruit, the Bis fruit, and give his biscuit soldiers mini versions of his sword. Number 2. Kikunoho is the sole female member of the 9 Red Scabbards. She describes her moves poetically, claiming that they are like snow that remains on the ground after winter, in that the damage she inflicts will linger with her victims in the afterlife. Most notably, she is seen using a move called Lingering Snow Sides alongside her brother. This move involves creating circular flying slashes and lunging towards her opponent. In this case, the opponent was Kaido. By enhancing her swords with Buso's Hoku Haki, she was able to cut through Kaido's hand. Number 3. Who says you have to choose between being beautiful and being an incredible swordsman? Not Cavendish. He fights with such strength and precision that he can slice a stone clean in half using a compressed air slash. He can also use his sword for defense, like the time he deflected Doflamingo's string bullets away from Law and Robin. During his fights in the Corrida Coliseum, he was among the top fighters, even cutting down impressive foes like Dellinger. When his Hakuba personality takes over, his speed increases dramatically, but he also risks losing control of himself. It takes a while for him to be able to access that speed while still keeping his behavior in check. Number 4. Inuarashi is the leader of the Musketeer Squad, which means that his swordsmanship is by definition top-notch. He successfully copied Oden's signature Oden Noitoria style, and used one of its most powerful techniques. He also has plenty he can do on his own, such as channeling Electro through his sword and clashing with Jack in his ancient Zoan form, or fighting on equal footing with Nekomamushi and his spear. When he's able to awaken his Sulong transformation, his swordsmanship is even more powerful. Number 5. Hyagora was a high-ranking member of the Yakuza who was respected by everyone, even Kaido and Orokai. His time in prison left him weak from malnourishment, so he isn't as strong as he was in his youth. But even in his weakened state, he was still able to take down multiple members of the Beast's pirates using his one-sword style of the flower. When his strength was briefly restored, he was able to take down the captains of Memawaragium and the Orokai Oniwan Banshee. He considers his sword to be an extension of himself, and places great importance on deciding what his sword will cut, and what it won't. Number 6. As one of the 9 Red Scabbards serving under Kojiki Oden, Ashuradaji has to be tough. He was once a felon said to be as strong as 100 men. He fights using Oden Noitoru, which is a style that involves using 2 swords that are hardened by Buso's Hoku Haki. One of his most noteworthy moments was when he joined with the other retainers to use Tajin Tatsuka, which involves 4 members hardening their swords and launching an X-shaped slash on Kaido. Kaido claimed that the damage wasn't much, but being able to do any damage at all to Kaido is still impressive. He was able to fight at an equal level with one of Kaido's subordinates. Number 7. Kin Eamon is the leader of the 9 Red Scabbards, and he's arguably the strongest of the bunch. Although he hasn't eaten a fire-based devil fruit, Kin Eamon can still generate, control, and cut fire with his foxfire style of sword fighting. One of Kin Eamon's most impressive displays of strength came when he was able to fight with just his torso after Trafalgar Law cut up his body using his op fruit. He was also able to cut through the extremely flammable Smiley and the explosion that doing so caused. When infused with Haki, his sword could pierce Kaido's powerful body. Number 8. Kawamatsu is a sumo wrestler who also served as one of Oden's 9 Red Scabbards. His sword of choice is a shirasaya named Soto Muso, which he holds using a reverse grip. Despite being in prison for 13 years, his skills are still as sharp as ever. He fights using a style he calls Kaparyu, which lets him combine his innate fishman abilities with his sumo skills to form rushing strikes that easily blow through multiple opponents at once. By infusing his sword with Buso's Hoku Haki, he was even able to pierce Kaido's immensely tough skin. Number 9. Trafalgar Law is better known for his unique op-op fruit than for his swordsmanship, but that doesn't mean he can't wreak havoc with his Nodaki Kikoku. He often combines sword fighting with his devil fruit, slicing up his foes in alarming ways. His greatest feat was when he sliced Virgo, a top brass in the Don Quixote pirates, in half, along with Caesar's laboratory, multiple mountains, and a meteor. Thanks in part to his skill with Buso's Hoku Haki, he was able to do all this without getting hurt, and was able to fend off string bullets from Don Quixote da Flamengo. Number 10. Denjiro is a samurai who serves as one of the 9 red scabbards. He also went undercover as a Yakuza boss who worked for Odin's enemy Orkai before ultimately revealing his true allegiance. He has a number of impressive sword-based feats under his belt. For example, he was able to stop Zoro from going after Orkai with just one sword. He was also able to use a flying slash to cleave a beast's pirate's ship in half. But he's not just powerful, he's also precise. When he had to fake Hiri's demise, he was able to slice the blood bag under her clothes, leaving her totally unharmed in the process. Do you agree with our lists or did we miss something? Write it down in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe.